Before today's game, the national anthem was sung by the young, blind soul singer Jose Feliciano, who accompanied himself on the guitar. His rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner was not a traditional one, and it caused many people to protest. Here is the way Feliciano sang the song.
So gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh,
today I'd like to tell the story of Jose Feliciano, the man who gave us the Christmas classic Feliz Navidad. At the age of 5, he moved from his home country, Puerto Rico, to New York. He was born with congenital glaucoma. What that means is that he was born blind. At a very tender age, he learned how to play the cuatro. It's an instrument he loves so much. The cuatro is a 4-string guitar, and it's one of the instruments that he has his strongest skills on. So at the age of 23, he was already a 3-time Grammy winner. And in 1968, the World Series between Detroit Tigers and St. Louis Cardinals, he was invited to perform alongside other artists like Marvin Gaye. Each of them also performed the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. But prior to that year, Jose Feliciano had started rehearsing his own version of the national anthem, because he didn't want to do a rendition of the national anthem that existed already. To him, he said it was a boring one, and a lot of people also felt the same way too. So he would eventually, prior to his performance, Marvin Gaye had his session. Between the 2 and 3 games, Marvin Gaye had his performance. And before his performance, he was told not to do his sole rendition of the national anthem. And he to the warning, he was like, I'll keep it straight and simple. He did it. So when it was Jose's turn, he walked to the center of the field with his service dog. He sang a different thing, and all hell was let loose. Everybody, the newspaper, the media, everyone went crazy, and those who were drafted to get him on board almost got sacked. He faced all kinds of criticism. His music was pulled from various radio houses. Nobody played his songs anymore. He was cancelled. Nobody wanted to do anything with him. They almost deported him, only to discover that he is Puerto Rican. And where do you deport a Puerto Rican to? Where they already live on the US soil. So that was his saving grace. So that period was a very rough one for him between 1968 to 70. Luckily, his producer and friend Rick Jarrah would eventually suggest to him to do a Christmas song, because he felt no one had done any current Christmas song around the globe. And the last Christmas songs that existed were done by Brenda Lee. That's the Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, the Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Holmes, and White Christmas by Evan Berlin and Bing Crosby. So he was hesitant at first, then he gave it a thought, and he felt it was easy to do because he could translate the greetings in his native home to a Christmas song. And that was how Feliz Navidad was born. Feliz Navidad was more or less the greetings amongst Latino people during the festival periods like Christmas and New Year. More or less wishing people Merry Christmas and Happy New Year prayers, wishing them the best of the next year. So he worked on the song and it became a hit. Feliz Navidad will go on to win multiple awards and sold millions of copies. Over 3.5 billion people around the world had listened to Feliz Navidad. And Feliz Navidad will eventually make it to the Grammy Hall of Fame. Today, Jose Feliciano is about 13 times Grammy Award winner with multiple achievements to his belt. And after that event that almost cost him his career, He has performed in different World Series again, and other people have moved on beyond Jose Feliciano to render the Star Spangled Banner in their own tones. Whitney Houston did the same thing and they loved it years later. And Jose Feliciano today feels accomplished. He's glad that Feliz Navidad gave him that breakthrough, because everyone up to China loves that song. And he didn't expect that he would get the kind of support that song enjoys today. And he's gone beyond that to appreciate the world for revitalizing his career that was almost dying because of what had happened. And in retrospect, Jose Feliciano will come to acknowledge the fact that what happened in that era was not what others felt it could have been. He would eventually talk about what had happened. In 1962, Robert Kennedy had just been assassinated within that era, about 1962. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated within 1967, 1968. And the Vietnamese War was on. So for him, it was not the right time to have done a different version of the Star Spangled Banner, because the country was going through a lot and it meant it was going to be a joke taken too far. So that was what sparked the outrage and the frustration that was meted out on him. And this is Christmas. It's time for us to come together as families, interact with our friends, and not more or less a stock-taking period. For us, it's a Feliz Navidad moment. Whatever we've been getting our hands dirty on, it's an opportunity for us to keep grinding and believing in God factor and hard work, the stroke of luck basically. So it is an opportunity for us to continue to wish that whatever we are believing in, God would eventually open those opportunities for us. And for me, it's an opportunity to also wish everyone Merry Christmas and Feliz Navidad. I pray that the coming year be better than 2023, and I continue to hope that all our prayers and our desires be granted by God. Once again, Merry Christmas, and I look forward to a prosperous 2024 with every one of us.